Hey everybody, BAM Collectibles here, back for another statue unboxing review for you. Today's statue is made by Dueling Studio and featuring none other than Itachi in Edo Tensei form. On the bottom of the base, we will see that there is the edition size on the very bottom, and then on the top, we'll find the line art for the statue that was used for the concept. Taking a look at the base, you'll notice there's a lot of things already pre-assembled and put together, and that's actually going to be a small problem with this statue, but we'll get to that in just a moment. Taking a look at the bottom of the base, it is a nice rocky themed texture with the Susanoo hand just coming bursting through the ground. On the very back, we will see a USB outlet. Now this statue is powered from a USB to USB cable, and then all throughout we'll see these flames that are sculpted onto the statue. Now one of the bad things about this is because this shipped as all one giant piece, I know a lot of people experienced some breakages on the statue where the flame tips just broke off. You know, the packaging itself was made up of basic styrofoam, so it doesn't protect it all too much. That's one flaw for this statue. As I mentioned before, this big effect piece in the back is actually the Susanoo hand, and here are each fingers that they sculpted separately. This is the first one. Now, it looks to be the skeletal version of that hand since the way that it's formed. I know Sasuke's kind of looks similar to where it's like nuts and bolts. It's very interesting, kind of mechanical looking almost, but nice little scarring and weathering on there too. It's not just straight and smooth. And after I begin filming this, I realized that's the middle finger of the Susanoo. So you've now been flicked off by a Susanoo. If that was on your bucket list, you are welcome. Each of the fingers do have the magnets impacted onto the bottom, so they just sit right into place, and they have all unique notches that you can identify where they go exactly. But spinning that around a little bit, really cool looking, right? Awesome how it comes together. To finish off this base, they sculpted two rocks separately. These aren't broken off or anything. They were sculpted separately. We can see the notch there. And so we'll go ahead, and what I'm going to do is it goes on this notch there on the bottom. So gravity holds that one into place. But we have this larger rock here. And if you look inside of the notch, there's actually some blue tack that I put in there that was already pre-installed. I'm actually going to put a little bit more on the notch over here. Gravity doesn't hold this one on perfectly. It shakes just a little bit. So I do want to press it firmly in there so it does stay into place. This is a bit out of order for me, but I wanted to go over the 3 different head sculpts they included. That's right, 3 head sculpts for this statue. So on the back, he does not have a ponytail because it's kind of assumed that it's tucked into the outfit, but a nice magnet on the back to hold it into place. And the eyes, we'll see here's the Mangekyo Sharingan that they have. Now these are the Edo Tensei versions, right? Instead of the white on the eyes, we will see the black. And they sculpted his necklace separately. It's got a little bit of flexibility to it, and what you do is you just push it into the neckline, and it kind of just wraps around and holds into place. So it does showcase, you know, that aspect of his outfit that he normally does have. What's nice as well is they did include 3 different necklaces for each head sculpt. Here is the second one. Now the difference here is just going to be that it looks like he used Amaterasu, where the blood is just dripping from his eye a little bit, or just from the natural overuse of it. And then the last one we can see, they decided to sculpt on the Izanami on here. So this scene altogether, I'm not sure if this, just like shown in the beginning, was Itachi versus Nagato when he finally got released from the Edo Tensei Jutsu, or if this is, you know, him versus Kabuto. So, but either way, I guess they give you the different options you can choose to display how you want to. This is the separate stand it included, where you can rest one. They didn't include 2, but only one. Maybe you could mount it up against the wall. Not sure who would want to do that, but there's a separate stand if you do want to just have it not be laying around. As always, I love to hear what you think. Would you prefer number 1, the regular Mangekyo Sharingan, or the one with the blood dripping, or the Izanami? Next up, we have the full sculpt for Itachi. Now, this is actually one sculpt altogether. Nothing was done separately. The hands, the feet, so that's pretty impressive by them. On the bottom, we'll see a steel rod, a little bit of paint flecked onto that steel rod, but that's how he's going to mount to the statue. Now, they went over the top with texturing on this thing. I mean, this looks like real pants, almost jean-like material on here. You can see all the different markings that go throughout. Same thing for the wrapping on the foot, just over texturized. It's tough. I really like it, but I'm so not used to this on Naruto statues, having all this detail baked into it. If we look at the robe as well, you'll see all that on there. So I have to say, I do like it. I think it's a great touch. It's very unique, done by them. They did the same thing for, you know, with the previous Dueling Studios statue that I showcased. They had the same kind of texturization on there, but super impressive by the studios, man. Oh, the hand looks so hyper realistic. This is normally the kind of detail that you find in quarter scale statues, but impressive they baked it into here. Now all these different notches are going to be actually some crows that they sculpted separately that we'll get to install on there. Really does flow together nicely, representing his character and some of the abilities that we see him use all throughout the show there. And you can see the magnet inside that neck where the head is going to attach. Now I do need to remove these two fingers just in case, because I don't want to knock anything off that would easily break something, but he just slides right into that little hole we had in the bottom of the statue, and fantastic. Again, looks great. He's got a little bit of a wobble to him, but he is firmly in place because of that steel rod supporting him at the bottom. Really loving the execution of these crows. Now what they normally do is just paint them straight black, and so I kind of like the way that they did have the purple going into the black there. So here's one that connects with just a notch, and this one actually connects perfectly fine. Some of them not so much. So the ones that have like a hole in the bottom of the bird, I am going to need to put some blue tack on the notches on the back of Itachi just to be sure that it does stand in place. So here's some of the blue tack that I normally use, and I'll try to speed through this as fast as possible. But anytime you have parts like this that are just loose or not connecting as well, if you put this blue tack on there, it creates an extra little layer that usually doesn't take away from the aesthetics of the statue, the way that it looks. But it does add to the security of being able to have your pieces stay into place and not fall off. The studio did also tease Killer Bee and Naruto, probably in his KCM mode, so I am hoping that they do release those in the future. That'll be fantastic to see another representation. There's not really many KCM Naruto statues out there, or Killer Bee, so we'll be warmly welcome to see some made, but there's everything all together. Obviously Itachi is headless at the moment, but looking fantastic how that comes together. Hello, my name is Bam, and I have a problem. I love collecting Naruto CCG cards, so these are the only Edo Itachi cards ever made from the Naruto Storm 3 series. This is the non-foil version. Obviously, you saw the foil version before, so probably the only official card. Maybe some custom cards would go better with it, but also Dueling Studios included this dog tag that has the edition size stamped onto there. We can see his Mangekyo Sharingan that's on that side, and there's the edition size number right there. And so kind of a cool little extra. I'm not going to take it out of the package, not something I would display with my statues, but that was included. For your viewing pleasure, I did want to showcase what each head sculpt does look like on the statue. Again, let me know in the comments below which head you would showcase on a statue if you owned it, or if you do own it, let me know which one you do have. The LEDs, from a cool factor perspective, are a 10 out of 10 for me. They're perfectly executed where it accents the statue. Super nice. I love how it just lights up almost like a backbone going all throughout it. So great job on their part. Perfect, right? Perfect, not distracting, accenting. Such a great job. And again, it powers by just USB only. This statue is a perfect example of a balanced statue, right? You have some diorama, you have some jutsu representation, you have great character representation. Here's an awesome look at Itachi from below. And again, you have that hand that's kind of towering above him as if he's controlling it. The crows showcasing the Genjutsu aspect of Itachi. So fantastic job by Dueling Studios all around. So it's a fantastic experience to showcase and share this with you. If you made it this far, thank you so much for supporting my channel and watching these awesome collectibles showcased on a weekly basis. As always, everybody, I'll see you in the next Do What You Love and Love What You Do. Bam out.